Mall.
It's time for Seminole Headlines featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
The Seminole Headlines 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV. Just a minor hiccup, boys. Just a minor hiccup.
We made it. We're back.
We're good to go. There's Ira. There's Corey. Hello.
What up?
Minor setback for the big comeback. Is that what they say? Something along those
phrase
lines. There the kids say. But yeah, man, we're all good. We're all good.
And with that, I'll say, yay, sausage!
As everybody should. And
just driving down the road, you should.
You should. We have a pretty good supply at the Schofel household. Now that the supply chain is cranked back up, we're getting after it over the Schofel household. A bunch of varieties. The andouille. I was a little disappointed over the weekend though, because we have the andouille. And my wife, and I'm sure it's like, for the people that really know how to pronounce andouille, it's probably like nails on a chalkboard.
Don't care. You pronounce it how you want to pronounce it.
And so I was like, oh, we got to make the jambalaya. And Kim reminded me we were out of the jambalaya, the box jambalaya, the homemade.
And they don't make that anymore. That's part of the supply chain.
We were out of it, so we had to skip on that. But we've got the breakfast variety, the hot. We've got the jalapeno cheddar. Try them all, guys. Go to registermeats.com if you're in this part of the state or this part of the country. Over in Alabama, Panhandle. The Panhandle is the home of Register sausage. And then if you go over towards Jacksonville, a little bit more into the southern parts of the state, they're spreading. And then it's like an infection. That's what Register sausage is. It's it's an infection that's taking over the Southeast, but the best infection you've ever had. But go to registermeats.com and you can have it delivered, and it comes fresh in a cooler with ice and all the varieties you want. You don't have to settle for whatever your grocery store has. If you go to registermeats.com and order it, and a lot of times we'll have a promo code. Maybe we'll have a spring football promo code. We'll let you know. You get exactly the ones you want all the time.
It should be promo code 0 access.
No access.
Never been less access.
Well, there's been
code,
you're right.
Never been less access.
There's you can't have less.
Never been less.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
well, it's going to be the difference in 5 wins and 10 wins.
Well, my goodness, in that case, they should cancel the luncheons and never allow us over there ever again. I would take it. I think everybody would. But they're underway. Honestly, what do you hope to glean? What can you?
I mean, we'll hear some things. Again, like right now, it's just day one on Monday without pads. Yeah. So, you hear things like, oh, man, Devin Carter looked really good.
Yeah, you just kind of smile like, okay.
I mean, it's good to hear, I guess.
Yeah.
But, there's not much you can take from certainly the line of scrimmage, certainly from linebackers. Mike Norvell said that the DBs made some good plays on the ball, so that's a positive thing. But, there's not a whole lot we can take away from it. And, listen, this is kind of the situation this team is in right now, is that there's really nothing anybody, even if we were at practice and we were telling people we saw this great play.
Right. No, it wouldn't be.
Everybody roll their eye. Oh, Javen Boggs made a play. Ooh, we're going to hear about him. Nobody cares. They're all cynical. So it doesn't.
Well, you're cynical after back-to-back losing seasons. It's a deserved cynicism. But that said, I do think that there would be some connection to the fact that, look, there's what'd you guys say, 50-plus new players?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to tell somebody that so-and-so looks good or is playing well. Not that it means they're going to win a bunch of games. It's just that because we're aware of it, right? But I think people would like to know who the players are. I mean,
it's kind of cool to build interest in your fan base.
I think it's short-sighted and silly, but it doesn't. Look, it's less work for us. But I do think it's an interesting way to go about it, and I'm surprised just because with Gus's absence, I thought we might see a little bit more.
What do y'all think of, and I went on a rant about this on Wake Up Warchant. It's not even an anti-Norvell rant or an anti-Florida State rant, but the disappearance of spring games. I think it sucks. And I think people that make these types of decisions don't care at all about the fans that pay
Corey,
their
I think
salaries.
it's in line with what we've seen in the sport.
I know, and it sucks. Who's it for? What's the benefit of it?
Right. Well, they're all paranoid.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's not ideal.
Corey had a good line about that, what he's talking about, his rant on Wake Up, where he just said, when's the last time a decision was made in the sport of college football, maybe in college athletics, but certainly the sport of college football, that was done with the fans in mind? And the reason I think that is kind of interesting is when I was talking to Michael Alford about a week ago, one of the things he talked about with the Savannah Bananas coming and how successful that was, 60,000 plus people in Doak Campbell Stadium.
A great game too. Came down to the final pitch.
Yeah. Sellouts at Doak, or excuse me, at Hauser the 2 nights before that. So clearly they know what they're doing. And one of the things that Alford said was he instructed his staff, particularly his marketing staff, to really watch what they do to see why they are so successful at reaching fans, like really connecting with fans. And not that you can apply a lot of those things to a football game or a men's basketball game or a baseball game, but
like when DJU throws a pass into the crowd, it counts as a touchdown if you catch it.
But just the idea of trying to connect, not just because the way college football works is like, hey, we're going to have these games, and if y'all want to come and pay money for tickets, come on out and we'll take your money. But like in terms of creating that connection, there's no thought to that. And why is that? I mean, it's not like they're all selling out every week. It's not like they're all making optimal amounts of money from their stadiums. Some of them are, but most of the time that's just based on wins. So it is interesting that they have this multi-billion-dollar franchise across the industry, and it doesn't feel like this sport really makes any effort at all to try to create a good relationship with the fan base.
No, it's less and less so. And to Corey's point, yeah, I mean, you see that all the time. I obviously there's a big difference between, the marketing and PR connectivity of a standalone event or a 3-night event as opposed to a whole season of games at the same place, But because they've gotten away with is the answer.
Yep.
It's because they've gotten away with it. The money's been there. The sport is only
and they're
grown.
They're always looking for an excuse to be like, well, those schools don't do it, so we don't have to do a spring game either. Look, other schools aren't doing one. We don't need to do one either. It's like, yeah, man, but maybe Florida State fans want to gather in the middle of April to watch your team. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. It's like, I understand where Norvell's coming from and these other coaches, where if we're going to do this, if we're going to take this practice away and turn it into an exhibition where we're not going to show anything because we don't want to let TV,
New Mexico State. You don't want New Mexico State to get any.
Then what's the point of doing it? But it's like, yeah, well, just have a practice, like have a regular practice, because you can still have a practice,
sure.
and one-on-one routes, and you can do. There are things you can do where even without contact, if you're afraid about injuries, I don't know whatever the ease, but giving fans a reason to come into the stadium. Get a glimpse at these new players, as you said, 50 plus new players.
There's a lot in this era. Your team's different every year. I think it's even more important to try to get that connection.
Yeah, because back in the day when you wanted to go to the spring game, it was because you wanted to see maybe like some guy who was second or third team last year that, hey, man, he might have to play.
Or
this
the
year.
True freshman that was the 5-star super duper. Like, what's he look like? Or what's Dan Kendra look like? Things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's not a good name to bring.
Yeah, I was going to say
not for spring game. Yeah.
Probably one of the.
But still,
he was beginning to the end for the spring game.
He was fun to watch when he was healthy, I guess.
No, I don't. Look, I think that they're kind of up against it regardless right now at FSU specifically. You can't have back-to-back losing seasons here and not create the kind of acrimony that this fan base feels towards the football program right now. But I don't know that I always buy the whole we're worried that people will see our best play. I mean, come on, man.
And last year it was something else, right? It was the stadium reconstruction or something.
Yeah,
and the year before that it was something. It's like, man, just you're looking for an excuse to take something away from a fan base that's been used to it for 40 effing years. Somehow Bobby Bowden was able to survive having his spring game televised.
It is funny that when they said last year it was because of the stadium, I remember thinking, oh, that's not why at all. And they're definitely not going to bring it back. But a lot of people were surprised. Like, I think a lot of people
surprised that they didn't bring it back.
Yeah, some people did think it was going to come back, and I was like, "Oh, that's the most obvious thing ever." They were never going to bring it back.
What bothers me is like the three of us are invested. We've lived in this town I've lived in this town for 18 years now. You guys much longer because you're much older. But but like I grew up with this team. Ira, you grew up with college football. Jeff, you grew up with this team. Mike Norvell, Mike Alford, God love them. They're outsiders to the point, right? They're going to be somewhere else in 5 years. They're the people that are making these decisions that impact all the people that love Florida State football. They're going to be on their way to somewhere else in 5 years. And so whoever takes over will be like, I guess at Florida State, they don't have spring games. Or I guess at Florida State, they don't do this. Like the basketball seating for students is outrageous. And it was a decision made by Kelly Elliott, 16 years ago that people just that's the way we do it now. We're going to have the students behind the backboard.
Hard to make sure that doesn't stay that way.
Hopefully.
Well, but he is trying.
I don't like that people that don't have, and this isn't fair to Norvell and Alford because they've been here a while now, but people in this industry, not just Florida State.
Kelly Elliott, who probably hasn't been in Tallahassee in 15 years, catching strays.
Hey, man, it was her. She was Spetman's assistant, associate that decided to move the students behind the backboard, and this is how life is. And for the rest of eternity, we just don't have spring games anymore. And it's not a Florida State problem. It's a college football problem. And it's kind of a cool thing about college football. They had it, and they just got rid of it for no real perceptible reason. Well,
and that portal window that was
there. Yeah, man. It was always an excuse.
That was the other.
They're just looking for an excuse to take less and less, more and more away. And they really would prefer it if you didn't watch on Saturdays. I know Norvell would. Just our Fridays. Like, just don't watch the teams if they're going to be bad.
So we go back 2 years, and we were having the larger discussion about the problems in college football, and we were talking about, how this transition would be painful. Maybe it would birth something more palatable that we enjoyed more on the up and up, because underhanded payments had always been a part of college football. Now it's out in the open. All these things that we said were possible. But obviously since that time, myriad things have occurred that have been negative for the sport, the big picture of the sport. You've got the selfishness that we harp on all the time between the two powers that be, the Big Ten and the SEC, and then how that negatively affects the sport. There's a ripple effect, all of that. I said at that time, look, the impact on ratings and the money surrounding the sport won't be seen for years in terms of the ramifications of those decisions. So it hasn't hit yet. But I do find it interesting and fun to monitor the grievances and the willingness to express that more and more from fan bases all over the country. It's happening more. I'm telling you, it's a matter of time before you will begin to see the dent. Like, the ratings won't stay this way forever. It was the novel concept of the playoff. I think that helped. And if you do that at a micro level with Florida State, it certainly helped that you had Alabama last year on the heels of all the renovation talk, right? So it was amazing to walk into a new, fully refurbished, added on, changed Doak for a game like that, and you hit a home run. You could not have done any better. I think the stadium is great, and then the win, which was most shocking. Well, I think it carried the year. But, man, that won't resonate forever. People will stop coming, especially if you continue to suck. Yeah. But they're having all the access removed. The tour doesn't exist anymore. I'm not sure. I mean, look, again, other people aren't doing those coaches' tours anymore either. But, man, you're further and further removed from any of this.
Well, and I don't know what the solution is. I don't know if it would make sense to have a skills competition or a fan day. And because that was the other thing that you remember, up until COVID, there used to be a fan day in August where literally they would pack the Civic Center, and you'd have lines of people wanting to, have lunch and see the players. Oh man,
it was nuts.
And they used to have autograph lines and all that.
It was packed. They used to make fun of it.
So it's just all those things end. And it's not, I don't know what the right answer is. I understand there's some reasons why they don't want to have them, but it is annoying that it's so easy to just dismiss it. And it's so quick to just say, no, we're just not going to do that anymore.
Like, who are you? Right. Who are you to make that decision for an entire fan base? Who are you?
Well, yeah, sure, we could do that, but I also just think that the willingness.
I don't even know who the you is there, by the way. I don't know who made the decision, but literally whoever it was, whatever committee or just one person, who the F are you, man?
Well, ultimately, I think honestly, that would be the head coach.
Probably.
Because and this is, there's a lot to be mad at Mike Norvell about. This would be lower on my list of things.
He's got other stuff to answer for.
But what I would wonder is, I would have thought, and the reason I thought there might be a slim chance that they did some sort of get together, and you're trying to fill that place every damn chance you get. Now, a spring game wouldn't fill it, but you might get 20,000.
Yeah. That's something. It's something for the community. There's going to be thousands coming from out of town.
And this fan base, I'm a Knoll. My fellow Knolls all know this place is broke as hell right now. You would give $10 in the coffers. 20,000 people did. Come on. What are we doing? Open up the concessions so have a good go of it.
A little Tavello.
Probably put a little
Tavello in the spring.
We're going to work it in out the gates. But you could have stuff centered around it. Like, you could try to figure out another way to incorporate, another event there over that same weekend.
Right.
I just don't. I think it's very, very strange.
I am curious who else is not doing them. Like, I know some schools are not doing them. I am curious.
Lots of them aren't doing them. But
but again, they look for any excuse to be like, well, this is the trend now. Nobody does them anymore. That's just the trend. That's what we're going to do. Jimbo did spring games. Jimbo would have rather not anybody seen anything. And Jimbo had spring games every year. Probably a pretty famous one with a quarterback that
he just didn't
good.
realize it was an option to not have.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say, you didn't know that you could not do one, right? Hey, Florida State plays Florida in baseball tonight, fresh off a 5-0 week.
6:30. What an interesting start time.
In which the Bats came alive. We can talk about that team and the basketball team. Those are real positive subjects, by the way.
By the way, basketball team, real quick, they got a tough journey ahead of them to win the ACC tournament. But Duke is without their starting point guard and without their starting center for the ACC tournament. Now, Florida State's not playing Duke. They're playing Cal.
Right.
But if they beat Cal, then they play Duke without two of their starters. It's still going to be a uphill battle, but you got a fighting chance at least if they're down two starters, you would think.
I sprinkled pizza money on Florida State to win the ACC tournament.
So I learned when you asked Tom, what do you think the odds are if Florida State win the ACC tournament? And he essentially said 7-1. I'm like, Tom, are you high? You think Florida State's a 7-1? I mean, give me a break, man. No, they're 100-1.
Maybe he said 70-1.
No, he said plus 750, I think. And Jeff's like, no, it's actually plus 10,000.
Yeah, it's plus 10,000 is what it is. And that's, hey, sprinkle your pizza money. Dare to dream. We'd be invested financially and emotionally.
Hottest team in the country.
Nobody
besides
wants
like Michigan.
A piece of this right now.
Yeah, man.
Nobody.
Yeah, right.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole Headlines, have already made this leap. From household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Support the team. Paul's core values. They make us the best.
For the elimination of termites and other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paul's. We'll get them all.
You probably already know that Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas is your one-stop destination for all pool maintenance needs, offering everything you need from chemicals, cleaners, vacuums, nets, and more. But that's not all. Pinch a Penny also carries a huge selection of premium hot springs hot tubs paired with easy financing options, making these luxury hot tubs affordable for everyone. And if you have an older hot tub and you're worried about the hassle of removing it, worry no more. Pinch a Penny will not only remove and total your old hot tub, but also offer a trade-in value for a credit towards your new one. So why wait? Visit Pinch a Penny's 12,000 square foot showroom today on Greer Road and discover how effortless and affordable owning a fantastic hot tub can be. Find out more at TallahasseeHotSpring.com. That's TallahasseeHotSpring.com.
All right, folks, if you're looking for a good excuse to play Seminole Legacy Golf Course and feel good about it, I've got one for you. Proud to be part of the FICW Golf Invitational coming up April the 13th at Seminole Legacy Golf Club here in Tallahassee. It's a Monday, which, let's be honest, perfect day to have a meeting on the course, if you will. Check-in starts at 8:30, shotgun at 10. They'll feed you. There's putting challenge, awards, silent auction, kit and caboodle. The tournament supports education and training for child welfare workers across the state of Florida, and part of the proceeds go right here locally to the Oasis Center for women and girls. So you're playing golf, but you're also doing some good. It's $300 for an individual, $1,100 for a foursome. Grab your guys, grab clients of yours, and just come out and play. We're proud to sponsor it. I'd love to see some familiar faces out there. Tom and myself will be playing in this thing too, alongside PGA professionals Tom Shea and Jane Geddes, FSU Hall of Fame legend Jane Geddes. So come join us and have a good time for a great cause. You can register at ficw.fsu.edu/golf. April the 13th, the first ever Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Tournament. We'll see you there.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
All right, this seems fun enough. Elaborate on how much influence Tim Harris Jr. will have since Mike is back calling plays. That's from Glenn in the chat. There you go. I'm going to serve that to you, Ira. He's going to help coordinate.
I think he's going to have a little bit more of an impact than maybe we thought. At least he believes he's going to have more of an impact. And Corey can illuminate this because he is the one that interviewed Tim Harris the other day when we were at the interviews. But yeah, Tim Harris talked about, the things he likes to do as a play caller versus what Gus Malzahn, not as a play caller, but as a I guess, offensive coordinator, scheme implementer.
That's what they should call themselves instead of offensive coordinators.
Were you going to say game planner? Because that was right.
Yeah, but it's not really for a game plan yet. We're in March.
He's a scheme implementer.
So, but anyway, he was talking about some of the things he likes to do and some of the things that he and Mike Norvell want to do that's different from what Gus did. So I do think he's going to have an impact. I don't know how much of an impact. He's not going to be calling plays, but I think he's going to have input.
Hey, by the way, Corey, before you
Illuminate is what I was saying.
Elaborate. I think it's going to go further.
Okay.
All right.
That's going to take.
I don't think I'm going to do either.
Salient points.
I'm definitely not going to illuminate anything.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting, at least, that he basically admitted that, it's a nice way of saying that he thought it was a little stale. When you talk about formational changes and implementing other aspects in the passing game, I think you're kind of taking a shot at what we just saw last year, which was ass.
Yeah, well, on the road. At home, they were fine, Jeff. At home, they were fine.
It still was a stale offense. It was pretty much the same thing all the time. Like, no other receivers besides Deuce got involved.
Well, Danzion
reverses early in the year, and then
Danzion end arounds, and he'd be open in the middle of the field sometimes, but the quarterback wouldn't hit him. Yeah. Got to throw that in that in
when
there.
You're 5'9".
Yeah. I do. Look, man, I don't know what impact Tim Harris is going to have. I know he will be a part of the planning and a part of planning practices and implementing scheme. I am 100% convinced it's Mike Norvell's offense.
Of course it is.
Yeah, and so he's going to be doing what Mike Norvell wants him to do. But maybe he's done it before though, right? Like this is his third time being an OC. So, when you are the head coach, it is nice to be able to trust someone to like do the day-to-day of implementing your offense. And I do think he believes in that. Harris. And I do believe him when he says that even if Gus Malzahn had retired after the Florida game, this is the route he would have gone.
Oh, 100%.
That he would have just promoted Tim Harris and he would have taken back over play calling. Like it wasn't just, I'm left in the lurch here because he retired surprisingly right around Valentine's Day. It was I would have done this no matter when he decided to call it quits.
No, he definitely would have. And
how's our audio, Ira? Are we doing all right?
There's talk about maybe a loose mic or loose mic cable or something.
There's been a problem with clicking. It's not on the radio side. It's odd. People can hear it in the YouTube, but you can't hear it on the radio or pod even. So I don't know. We're trying to figure what that is.
Gotcha. We're troubleshooting it. We got our best man on it.
Yeah.
Best men and women on it. But
there's no women in here.
I mean, we're just trying to let people think that we might have some women in the studio here. But yeah, man, like he's definitely going to have a role. I mean, even when Alex Atkins was the offensive coordinator in the sense of he's the one that put together the plans for practice. He's the one that kind of organized everything so that the head coach doesn't have to do that. The head coach has other stuff to do. My response was, I do think he's going to have some input into, hey, these are things that may work with the personnel we have. I mean, I think it's pretty clear listening to Mike Norvell talk, listening to Tim Harris talk, and then also even Deuce Robinson yesterday, that they realized that they didn't tap into the talent they had last year. I mean, it was going to be Deuce or Danzy in the passing game, and then the running game was obviously anybody who had a running back jersey on got to play. But this year, you definitely get a sense that they want to spread the ball to more receivers. The question is whether or not Ashton Daniels can get it to all those guys and make the throws. But I from that standpoint, and then Tim Harris talked about him. He likes to do a lot more formationally.
Yep.
So that's going to be different than what Gus was doing last year.
2-back sets and the like, things like that. Yeah, motion.
Yeah.
And these are things we did not see.
Deuce playing maybe going to different positions, trying to get a mismatch.
It's a fine idea. I actually, when somebody asked me the other day, because they think I'm down on the team a little bit, guys. I don't know.
What?
They think that.
You're down on like Norvell and what he's done with the program?
Yeah, just a little frustration. But I said I believe that actually offensively is, if you asked me to hang my hat on something that I thought they had a chance to improve upon and be better at, it would probably it would be offensively. I have not a lot of faith that things are going to be good defensively, but I do have some hope, even some optimism about the offense. Actually,
the offense should be decent. I mean, the personnel is there. I mean, the question is whether or not the quarterback play is going to be good enough. To me, that's
a big
the only
question. It's a big one.
It is. I do think it'll be better than it was last year.
Couldn't be worse, right?
I mean,
as a passer,
could be
worse.
It was worse the year before.
Yeah.
Well,
It could be worse, but
that's good. We always have that baseline. We've seen what a rock bottom offense looks like.
We did indeed.
I mean, for a full 12 games.
We've seen the unthinkable.
Yes, yeah.
We've seen some
that
things.
that was as incompetent an offense as ever been fielded by a football school,
especially one of this magnitude.
That's what I'm saying. By a football school,
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
like
it kind of colors the conversation even today.
It does. Yeah. Still thinking about it.
It's tough to get out from under it, but I do have hope in that offense because I do think there's some skill there. I think the other question, Ira, we would say quarterback. Understandably, that's the right spot to go to, but you just don't know if Coach Hand's going to be able to work his magic again and get this offensive line to be at least average to good. Right. You'd like to think, but that once again, we're all new guys.
Wouldn't you be stunned though? Like I have 100% confidence that he won't have an embarrassing offensive line.
Yeah.
Well, that's a baseline. It's not a great one. It's not a high bar to clear, but we've seen embarrassing offensive lines at this program for over a decade now, starting like maybe 16, 17 with the Trickett stuff. Where you had some embarrassing collections of talent.
It's about a 5-year stretch there.
Yeah. And then the ones with Francois, like getting pissed off and not wanting to be helped up by an offensive lineman that had just let him get sacked again.
James Blackman with the chalk outlines.
Yes. So there have been some, and then 2024.
Because he never braced for it.
Yeah.
It was just like,
well, there was something beautiful about how much he trusted those guys, even after he'd been hit 40 times. Like he still trusted implicitly. They got my back this time. They don't.
It's the guy whose wife's cheated on him 4 times. She announced she's going out for a girls' weekend.
Yep.
Go have fun. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
So I don't think Herb Hand will have an embarrassing offensive line, and we've seen that. So the bar is higher than it was in 24 or 17 or 18 or 20. So that's good. And I do think you have a chance to have a collection of skill players that is probably at least one of the best in the conference, perhaps. I think Weiser's good.
Yeah.
We think Cromaw could be good. And Deuce, Boggs, whoever the third guy is, that's a nice collection of skill guys.
Yeah.
Which helps your quarterback immensely. You don't have to be great quarterback.
They need that group to be very good. I think they're going to be in some high-scoring games.
Yep.
Is my sense. And
you need Boggs to do what, remember Lane McCoy at the end of last year was making plays. He was a really good number 2, number 3 receiver there at the end. I mean, it was 2 games, but you need Boggs to be that guy. Maybe Boggs is the 2 and Danzy's the 3, but you need somebody other than Deuce to go make plays.
I think that offense with that quarterback, Boggs was never going to be much of a factor. I mean, just, what he is, he's a guy that's going to be kind of that possession receiver, kind of get the tough yards over the middle. He's not stretching the defense like Deuce, and he's not a guy you're just going to get the ball to in space and let him just juke 3 guys. So that's not who he is, and so I think he kind of got lost, plus the injuries.
Yeah. But
I think if you have a more complimentary passing game, I think he's got a chance. And the other thing about that, the offensive line, I'm not going to use they won't be an embarrassment bar because I think that's too low to shoot. I mean, I think they're going to be decent. Will they be quite as good as last year? Maybe not. But I think when you look at guys that have played as much football as those guys have played, you had a guy that started every game at Auburn and before that at Virginia Tech. the guy that started for 3 years, the guy, you have guys that played, guys that started as a freshman at center. I mean, they are. It would be surprising to me. It would be more surprising to me if it's a bad offensive line than if it was
average to
just
slightly
pretty
above
good.
average. Yeah.
Pretty good.
So I mentioned the baseball team before we went to break. We should go to them. It's starting to look up, I think, because the bats have come alive. Now you feel pretty good about the arms. Certainly, obviously, they overmatched opponents this past week. They have a 5-0 week. They dominate, hit for a ton of power. I like the problems that Link has to figure out as more and more guys take every advantage of the opportunity that they're getting to play.
Yeah.
You have more and more guys that are hitting and more options, and that's a good problem to have. Like I was asking over the weekend, like, what are they going to do with Chase? Because right now he can't hit, and you wouldn't play him.
He's going to have to work his way back in because they have too many other guys that are producing.
That's my point.
And I looked at the lineup on Sunday, and I'm like, it's just amazing that what that lineup looks like now compared to what it was 10 days ago in terms of who's playing.
Yeah.
It's all these freshmen.
You got guys you can move down in the order like Dowd and them. It's fun.
It's I just not normal either. You in college baseball in 2026, you don't have, I think they had 3 true freshmen in the starting lineup. And then Sheffield's essentially a redshirt freshman. Yeah. You don't usually play young guys and have them hit there. That's encouraging, is that, man, Sheffield can hit. Like, he needs to get stronger like his old man, so those line drives become 400. But he bat the ball. Him and Paulino are just next level, man. They can hit. They're not going to be overwhelmed. Now, I say that. They're about to ramp up in competition, stuff they haven't seen in college yet, both of them. Stutzer, too. But you like the potential of these guys.
Well, when you watch Stutzer's ABs, that's where you get most encouraged, because he can take a walk. He'll hit the other way. He's got power into the alleys.
He kind of gives you – and he's also – he's not an insta-steal like Chase is.
Right.
But he's close.
Yeah, he's apparently just as fast.
Yeah, and so when you have that, it's like, man, Chase almost becomes not a need, but because that speed you have in Stutzer, but Stutzer also has power. I think he's probably as good an outfielder. And Chase is hitting 170. And I really think, man, like when you get into these, like let's say you're playing Wake and you're up 4-3 in the 8th, and Hunter Carnes gets hit by a pitch. Well, you've got a weapon in your dugout that hit by pitch becomes at least a double and maybe a triple. Like, that's a nice weapon to have, and he doesn't have to earn his way on base, which he's not been doing.
But it's an interesting situation. You can make a career. You can. There are guys in Major League Baseball that are okay with that role. Like, I'm still getting paid as a Major League Baseball player.
That won't be him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so,
no, I agree with you.
But
you also can't.
But he's got to earn his way.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying he should be given it, but I think he's going to have to reset.
Yeah.
He needs, I think, just some time to reset. Because
what was with the helicopter swings and all the nonsense? Last year, I thought that was the injury. At the end of the year,
and I think, man, the first couple weekends I think they got in his head. I'm not speaking. I don't know Chase. I'm not pretending that I'm there watching practices, but just watching the games, it looked like, man, he had a couple rough at bats, got robbed once or twice, and then just kind of went in this spiral. And I think he has not come out of it. And sometimes, man, you just need some time to kind of decompress, because I'm sure he came into this year with big expectations. I mean, he's got all of the natural physical ability in the world.
He hit 340 whatever last year.
He had some power in the postseason.
So I'm sure he put a world of expectations on, and then not seeing that produce early in the season, I think he got domed up, and I just think he needs some time. The good thing is they have other options. Like, they don't need him to be playing.
That's what you worry about if you're him, though. You get domed up, and then you look around, and all these guys are emerging as viable options, very viable options. When are you going to find time to put him in now that you're ratcheting up competition?
But that's Link's got to figure that out. But I do think from if this was pro baseball, he'd go down to AAA for a few weeks and figure it out. Well, they don't have that option, but he can use this time to work on himself so that when the opportunity comes again, because the opportunity will come again.
Yeah.
I mean, Dowd got hurt. Delamalier got hurt. I mean, things will happen. You'll get a chance, but you got to be ready when that chance comes. But right now, he's not as good as the guys they have. I mean, he's just not.
No. And then luckily they have other guys. And
that's what I mean.
He's got to figure out when Delamalier gets back, it's like, okay, well, who's the DH? Who's in the outfield? Like, Paulino and Sheffield deserve to play. Stutzer's deserve to play. Again, though, let's see what it looks like after this week.
Yeah, man.
They're at Florida and at Wake. Like, they're facing the 4 best. This would be the 4 toughest games they've had. The 4 best teams they've played, I guess. Florida struggled, but they got pitching. And so let's see what it looks like after this week and reset, because now it gets real.
Yeah, I mean, those guys aren't going to hit to the same level as they do against some Northern Kentucky or whatever, but they're going to hit. Sheffield's a hitter. like Paulino's a hitter. Like they're going to have bad at bats. They're going to have tough moments, but it's not like they're going to just suddenly not be competent.
I think Dowd's a hitter.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah. I think they're going to be okay.
A hitter. They've got some dudes that square it up. I get excited about what their potential is. And, obviously they overwhelmed the opponents over the course of the 5 games.
Which isn't to be dismissed, right?
Because that's Florida, what good teams do.
But also Florida lost 2 out of 3 to High Point and miracled a third win because they walked 6 times the 9th inning. And then LSU lost the series to Sacramento State, who was 3-9 coming into that series.
This is the point I was making on the air the other day. Like, look, I get that you always have to caveat wins over opponents that are outmatched. Except if you look around college baseball, top 20 teams are losing all the effing time.
Yeah.
Florida State's not. They're winning those games. It doesn't mean they're going to go to the College World Series. It does mean that they're progressing in the way that a good team usually does. It's fascinating to watch Florida struggle as they did to High Point. To lose 2 out of 3 and really should have lost 3 of 3. They've had hiccups prior to that series, by the way, and you've watched it. You mentioned LSU. You've seen it with UCLA and other teams losing games to teams. It's kind of normal to lose midweek anyhow because you're testing guys. You're putting guys in situations to make them uncomfortable. Sometimes you understand that you're going to kind of manufacture a loss in a weird way. But Florida State is giving guys opportunities against these outmatched opponents and juggling the lineup, and they're getting production out of all those guys.
Yes. They did have a couple of 1-run wins.
Yeah, the game against JU was
the Citadel
series.
I'm telling you, man, that Citadel game, the way the ball traveled this past weekend compared to that Citadel weekend,
the weather has changed.
Like, there's no way the Dowd second home run is a home run against the Citadel. That's caught in front of the track. Like, the ball's starting to carry because, look, man, before that series, they had 10 home runs on the season in 14 games, which is anemic. And now they hit 8 in a weekend, so they're up to 18. I say that because Georgia's got like 45 home runs. Georgia Tech's got 55.
Georgia's still playing in that silly ball.
Yeah. But in Florida State's sitting here with 10. It's like, what in the – and 6 of them are Miles Bailey. Yeah. And you're like, well, somebody else got to start hitting home runs. Well, they did. They showed they have some pop.
Miles is kind of fun, huh?
Yeah, that 116 off the screen. I asked Link after the game. I talked about this on Wake Up. So his first hit in that first inning was 116 off the screen. And I went to Link, and I'm like, what – with him, with the exit velo, are we reaching the limits of human potential? Like, what is the fastest a ball can come off a bat? And he said the fastest they've ever had one was 118. But he's like, in MLB, it's actually faster because they get to swing heavier bats.
It's over 120 because O'Neal Cruz did it last year.
Yeah, so it's like 121. So Miles Bailey. So actually, but he's like, they temper the bats. They put a governor on the bat. So 118 might be the max you can hit a baseball with an aluminum. And he also said the balls are different there.
Stutz had one the other day, 111?
Yeah,
a freshman?
He hit 2 balls 108 in that first inning. Paulino had one that was 108. Like, those guys can rake.
It's fun to watch. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues just a moment.
Your local news now.
The Tallahassee City Commission is voting this week on approving the sale of parts of downtown Tallahassee to developer 908 Group to develop an apartment and hotel. The developer plans to build a 239-unit apartment building and a 144-room hotel with a restaurant. The developer is responsible for many West Gain Street developments, such as the 9 and State House Woodward. The pros of approving the sale includes facilitating redevelopment, returning property to the tax roll, and removing maintenance responsibilities. The cons include a loss of surface parking, volleyball courts, and associated revenue. The City Commission meeting is set for March 11th. A 61-year-old Havana man is deceased following a single vehicle crash in Gadsden County. The crash happened on Fairbanks Ferry Road and Francis Drive in Havana. The pickup truck was traveling east, veered off the road, rotated, and hit a ditch. The vehicle was fully engulfed in flames as a result. At this time, it is unclear why the vehicle left the road. This is Rachel Anay with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 87. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies tonight, lows level off around 62. Daytime highs approaching 86 with fog in spots early tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, it's 79 degrees.
Services to call away. 222-7722. AC and electric is what we do.
Service, repairs, and installation too. 222-7722. Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Invest in a Peak Performance membership and you'll buy peace of mind in knowing that you're extending the life of your system and probably saving money on your power bill too. The program includes comprehensive tune-ups that keep your system running at its maximum efficiency. And Peak Performance members get many benefits, including priority service. Members jump to the front of the line when their comfort system fails. And a 15% discount on all parts. The Peak Performance membership pays for itself over and over again. Call today and have peace of mind. And now offering electrical services too.
Parker Services. Comfort's just a call away.
Florida license number CMC 050334.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
Basketball team won again, obviously, and did so in dominant fashion over SMU. That was fun to watch. A nice reward for a team that got a season completely turned around after at one point looking like it was going to be a disaster, to have to try to talk your way out of, feeling negative about what the year one experience was under Luke Laux. Now everybody's emboldened, rightfully so, feeling good about it. Athletic director patted himself on the back with a statement. And now you've got real hope that moving forward, Florida State's going to be very good at basketball. We'll see. I go back to the point you made, Ira, though. He is going to have to find a couple of veterans in the portal.
A few.
And that'll be the tough thing. They've already won the recruiting battle in terms of the quality of players you're bringing in, but you're not going to ride that to a deep run in the postseason with all freshmen.
I feel like, don't you think they know what they're looking for though?
Oh, yeah.
Now a lot better than they have more time too. Like they were thrown into the fire last year at this time of year, like March 8th or 9th or 7th was when he was hired. So they know they have a better understanding and grasp of what they're looking for exactly, and more proof of concept.
Definitely that. And the other thing, man, and again, this is where it's a small sample size because he has 1 year of head coaching experience. So we can't really speak to how what happened this year is going to apply every other year. But what is amazing about this team this year is he's got those guys believing in a way that you just don't see very often.
I agree. And he did it in the midst of going
0-5
in the league.
Where I think all of us rightfully wondered whether he was going to lose the team completely. I was starting to worry where he was going to lose those recruits, even though they had already signed. Like, what?
You keep losing games,
not just losing, but losing by 30 or 40.
And
then not only did he keep them together, but then got them to a point now where, I'm telling you, before you even talked about the injury news with Duke, which is, if they get to the Duke game, we'll see how it plays out. But the one thing I know, and Tom and I were talking about this last night on the Smash. The one thing I know about this basketball team, they will step on the floor with Duke and believe they're going to win.
Yeah.
And that's not normal. Like most teams are beat before they step on the field or step on the court with Duke. They're not going to be that way. Now, whether or not they're good enough to win, we'll see, but they'll give themselves every chance.
And they played well against Duke this year, and they played well against Carolina this year.
Now, they were playing different than they are now.
Correct.
Like they were still shooting a million threes.
Yeah, and they made a lot against Duke.
Made a bunch that day,
they were like 15 out of 31 or something.
But
like
still, it's still the reality that you're better now than you were then. Kids won't think about that they were shooting unconsciously that day. They'll think, oh, we played a close game before we even got this thing rolling.
Yeah.
So, they're already confident. They'll be emboldened by that previous matchup. I would love to see it just because I think they're a team that some of the teams that are going to make the NCAA tournament are not even close to playing their best brand of basketball right now. They've kind of they stocked up early, and then now they're playing poorly, and they're going to sneak in, whereas FSU's the opposite. FSU's a team that didn't play all that well early, obviously, and put themselves in dire straits. And now here they are playing a brand of basketball that nobody would really want to match up with.
Yeah, again, it's frustrating in the sense that right now I think they're playing right now the last 2 months like a top 25 team, like a Sweet 16 team. It's just the resume is such that they got no chance unless they go win 4 games in 4 days. So that's a little bit frustrating just because, man, if they would have just played, if they would have figured it out sooner, man, they'd be a tournament team right now.
No,
But they
it's the
did
Wake
figure
and the
it out.
Virginia game. The Wake and the Virginia game.
But even then,
But I'm saying if you win both those games instead
Sure.
of being 12-1 over 13, I mean,
you'd be 12-1 and 13, and you'd be 12-8 in the league.
Yeah.
Or 12-6 in the league, which is crazy. I'm just saying, like, if they'd have figured out how they needed to play back in December, the Wake and Virginia games they would have won the other games they should have won.
The other thing that, it's been talked about for several years, we'll see if it ever happens. Leonard Hamilton's a huge champion of it, is if they expanded the field.
Boo.
But if they did, this team would be in.
Oh, well, yeah.
And
so would a whole bunch of teams.
Yeah, but they'd be interesting. They'd be a live dog.
They'd be would it be a 19 seed versus a 12 seed or something? I don't know how the seeding would work.
They would be the team that nobody wants to play.
That part's true. I don't need to see this thing expand.
Nope.
The bubble's ass cheeks this year.
They keep talking
it's
about
already
Auburn.
awful.
Auburn's like 16 and 15, and
You're
they're on
gonna
the
let
bubble.
teams in that have
but it's
no
the SEC.
business.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, Corey, shut your mouth.
Sorry.
You realize the murderer's row they had to play
exactly
compared
right.
to everybody
and
else?
they almost won some of those 15 games that they lost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch, man. I just hope they, it would be awesome to see them make some sort of a run, or at least win this first game against Cal, and then play well against Duke, and then see if they get in the NIT. I mean, the more chances to see this team play, it's just fun because, and again, we don't know how it's going to, because the challenge will change for Luke in the future. So next year he's going to have a different kind of player.
Yeah.
Those 4 or 5 freshmen he's going to have coming in are blue chip recruits. They're not these blue collar, mid-major guys that you gave him a chance to come to Florida
Happy
State.
to be playing college basketball.
I mean,
These dudes thinking they're all going to the league.
100%.
Right.
All those guys in that group think that they're 1 or 2
league.
years in college and they're going to the league. So it's a different kind of guy to manage. Now he coached in the NBA, so you should have a firm grasp on that. But then you're not going to have the experience. Like this group, when they do things, we watch them every game. Like they'll put in things defensively or change things and stuff they run out of bounds plays and things. You could tell that's a high IQ basketball team. Chauncey Wiggins talked about maybe wanting to be a coach one day. Like they think at a high level, well, if you've got a bunch of freshmen, they're not going to be the same way. So there's going to be different challenges next year, but man, you just have to be really encouraged by what we've seen so far.
They're going to have to get, I would predict at least 3 of their 5 starters will be portal guys. I mean, they have to be. You still got, again, I think you're going to be fishing from a different pond in the portal than even you were this year.
If you have the money to do it.
I think you do. I just think the proof of the concept
if you have the money to do it, though.
Yeah, money
and
is money, but I get that, but also if you can be convinced that maybe I take $80,000 less.
Well, that's his pitch.
But it helps me. It helps my game, and I can go to the league. Yeah. That's something.
Well, he has to sell that.
Right. If you're within 80,000, then that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like from a realistic standpoint, he didn't get that signing class by negotiating like low. I mean, that signing class is an ACC caliber, top half of the league.
Yeah.
We invested in that signing class. Now you've got to find more money to go get those portal guys that everybody else is bidding for too.
It does help that the people that give money maybe believe in you a lot more than they did 2 months ago.
Going
100%.
back to with the losses we're mounting, Ira, you mentioned the concern, like, man, they're not going to be able to hold on to these commits. I had that concern too, but my larger concern was this conversation was, oh, man, not only are you not going to hold those guys, but how in the world are you going to convince anybody to take less money to come to this when they were losing the way they were? Because that's the whole pitch. I mean, listen, when you're hearing about FSU's culture and understanding our culture, man, that's code for we're broke as hell.
Well, what he sold last year was, I'm an NBA guy. I've got NBA guys on my staff, and we're going to prepare you.
Yes.
And you could sell that the first year.
Right, but if you're losing and you're getting your ass beat,
then it would have been very difficult to sell that this year.
And I'm not sure. Maybe McCray gets drafted. Maybe, I don't know. Wiggins could be a stretch 5. I guess he just doesn't rebound the ball that well. But when you look, when you're trying to sell yourself to portal guys, Chauncey Wiggins is the prime example. Like Chauncey Wiggins played 3 years in the ACC, averaged, I don't know, 7 or 8 points a game.
He dropped 31.
He just had 31 in his senior game.
All 3 of those guys.
McCray too, Leger Jones. Like Leger didn't average as much as he did. Was he at St. Bonaventure or Drexel? One of them was at Drexel. Kobe McGee maybe was at Drexel. But there's the proof of concept for these portal guys from mid-major schools to be like, okay, I average 14 here. I can come back to Hofstra and average 14 again, or I can go play at Florida State and he might turn me into a viable pro.
Well, that's the pitch.
Not an NBA draft pick necessarily, because again, I don't know that you're fishing in that pond in the portal, but somebody that can go make a ton of money overseas and completely change your game. Like Wiggins is the example.
It does warm my heart to see some of the basketball schools and the fate. Like Kentucky spent over $20 million on their roster. They're not any good.
Yeah, Florida State would probably beat them.
Imagine you're a Kentucky fan, the blue blood Kentucky fan, and you know that roster was $22 to $25 million. They professed it openly. Oh, how come you guys suck? It's a sport where two guys can change the whole damn prospects of a season. How are you this terrible?
Also, you think about NC State and that game and how awful Florida State was and how NC State clowned them for 2 hours. In what NC State has been the last month, while Florida State has gone the opposite direction. And NC State, their one kid makes more than half of Florida State's roster.
And look at the around the league. I mean, these coaches that are getting fired. I mean, look at think of how much money Notre Dame is investing in basketball. They're awful. And I know there's been injuries, some of these teams. Pitt, they're investing way more than Florida State.
He'll be fired as soon as they lose.
The BC guy got fired. Georgia Tech guy got fired. They care about basketball. So Luke, he's like, I'm not saying he's like our guy in Indiana, Signetti, but like the idea of somebody going into a place where everybody knows they don't have great resources and you can go win a bunch of games, that makes all those other guys look worse.
I am saying it.
All right.
He is
Luke
Frank Signetti. Kurt Signetti. Who's Frank Signetti?
The dad.
The dad. Oh, yeah. He is Kurt Signetti. Luke Laux is the Signetti of college basketball. I just said it. Wait till you see what he does. Next year, he's going to win.
No, but Signetti went back-to-back years.
No, but he didn't win the last year.
But
he just made the playoffs. No, Luke's not going to win coach of the year.
Luke's not going to the postseason other than the NFL.
Next year, they're going 38-0. It's going to be the best basketball team anybody's ever seen.
I wish he was the next Kurt Signetti.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, but if he were, he'd be coach of the year this year, and they would be dancing. True. So, yeah.
And also, Luke, for real quick, Link Jarrett is a micromanager of everything around the baseball program, from the turf to everything in between, the concessions, the video board. Luke needs to do that this year with the basketball experience. He needs to figure out the nonsense with the tickets. And I think he cares. I think he cares, and he's going to change it because it's ridiculous how many empty seats are the best seats in the house in that building.
Yeah, well, I think he agrees with you, and he's kind of echoed as much. Hour number 2 forthcoming. We'll get to headliner questions just a moment. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Something different? Discover the bold and surprising flavors of Peru at Café de Martín. From sizzling lomo saltado to savory handmade empanadas, every dish is made with heart, history, and soul. Crafted by classically trained Chef Martín himself. It's not just food. It's a trip to Peru without the plane ticket. Swing by Café de Martín today and taste the tradition. Café de Martín. Authentic Peruvian. Right around the corner.
When I get home from work, I'm ready to relax. So I call Swain Pools and Spas to put my pool in the back. I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
Swain Pools and Spas is your pool and spa everything store. Swain sells them, Swain repairs them, Swain renovates them, Swain services them. Swain even has pool and spa supplies. And they'll test your water too. Nobody, and I mean nobody, knows more about pools and spas than Swain. Almost 40 years of quality, reliability, and service. Look for the big Swain sign on Tharp Street. Call them at 386-7113 or online at swainpools.com.
Swain Pools and Spas. Soaking up the fun when you want to. Swain Pools and Spas.
We're ready to rock and roll at the 2026 Florida Lineman Competition. Join us at Appalachia Regional Park in Tallahassee on March 14th and cheer on your hometown heroes. Line crews from across Florida will compete in exciting events that showcase the skill, teamwork, and training it takes to keep our communities powered. Bring the whole family and find all the details at calgov.com. See you at the Florida Lineman Competition.
Hey, it's me, your car. That crack on your windshield? Yeah, it's not a good look. People are starting to stare.
Don't let your car be embarrassed. Call Seminole Auto Glass for fast, professional auto glass replacement. We'll fix chips, cracks, and your shattered pride.
Please, for both of us.
Call 850-539-4527 or visit SeminoleAutoglass.com today. Seminole Auto Glass, saving cars
And their egos.
one windshield at a time. Better call Seminole.
Many orthodontists in Tallahassee can straighten a smile, but at Birch Orthodontics, they're dedicated to providing the finest care possible. The experienced and friendly staff is trained in all of the latest techniques. So whether you need standard treatment like braces or Invisalign, or you have a more complicated case requiring extra attention, Birch Orthodontics is here for you. Set up your free consultation today by visiting birchorthodontics.com, BURCH orthodontics.com, or call 850-877-1692. At Birch Orthodontics, they create beautiful smiles that last a lifetime.
WVFT, Gretna, Tallahassee. This is Real Talk 93.3. You're listening to Seminole Headlines with Ira, Corey, and Jeff. Stay tuned for more headlines coming up next. Your sports action update on Real Talk 93.3 with all the latest odds from Vegas.
NBA basketball tonight. The Miami Heat, they are at home as they match up against the Washington Wizards. Heat 36-29, Wizards 16-47. Miami a 15.5-point favorite. The over-under at 242.5. In the NHL this evening, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they are set to play host to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And Tampa Bay, they are the favorites in this game as they are at minus 250. The Blue Jackets plus 198, over-under 6.5. The Florida Panthers against the Red Wings tonight. Florida at minus 130, Red Wings plus 108, over-under 5.5 goals.
Score $500 in rewards at the GBank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank.
With their VSiN action update, I'm Matt Pauley on Tallahassee's Real Talk station, Real Talk 93.3.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Broker Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Hey, it's Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. If you work hard to serve our community, whether you're a teacher, a nurse, firefighter, police officer, or first responder, or even a city or county employee, I've got some great news for you. Florida's Hometown Heroes program can help you buy a home with down payment and closing cost assistance up to $35,000, depending on where you live and work. It's a way to say thank you to the people that keep Florida running. And I'm proud to help local heroes take advantage of it every day. Don't assume you don't qualify. Let's find out together. I'll walk you through the process, show you how to combine these benefits with the right mortgage plan, and help you make that dream of homeownership a reality. Let's get started. You can reach me at 954-369-6171. That's 954-369-6171. I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, helping our hometown heroes find their way home.
Craving something different? Discover the bold and surprising flavors of Peru at Café de Martín. From sizzling lomo saltado to savory handmade empanadas, every dish is made with heart, history, and soul. Crafted by classically trained Chef Martín himself. It's not just food. It's a trip to Peru without the plane ticket. Swing by Café de Martín today and taste the tradition. Café de Martín. Authentic Peruvian. Right around the corner.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
It's time for Seminole Headlines featuring Warchant.com's Jeff Cameron, managing editor Ira Schofel, and senior writer Corey Clark. Your weekly dose of all things FSU, pistols, and pies starts right now. Here's Jeff Cameron.
Hour number 2, Seminole Headlines, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Headliner questions coming your way. Just a moment. I do think we may have fixed the cackly, windy sound that people are reporting. We may have.
Why?
They were
I
working
do
on
that
it.
now.
We're working on
part
it
of the
all
show
throughout
now.
the break, man. We were working on it all throughout the break. Anyhow, you guys can report back because I do want feedback on that, but not before I say thanks to Dr. Birch and Birch Orthodontics for being our ride and die. By the way, Dr. Birch, just out of nowhere, it's nice to know that she's tuned in. I don't always know that she's listening to Seminole Headlines. I don't always know that she's listening to the Jeff Cameron Show, but she was the other day because I mentioned on the JCS that we would have a pizza party if we won 7 games or more this year, like just a good old-fashioned pizza party. She said she'd sponsor it.
Oh, there we go.
She would
Nice.
sponsor the pizza party. So we'll get together with
like we should get a
25,000
local-
of our favorite
Get a
listeners
local
and-
pizza place to sponsor it, though. We don't want Heather to have to pay any more than she needs
Don't
to.
turn down sponsors.
Okay, Heather, do it. Do it.
Dr. Birch, she cares about the Noles. Man.
She does.
Maybe
She does. So it's just 7 games of the pizza party? Does that
7
include a bowl win?
No, 7 regular season.
Okay,
games.
it's a distinction you got to make.
Daunting, by the way. That's,
Would it be like the pizza, like school lunch pizza, the square rectangle pizza?
if you'd
that kind of pizza party?
like to bring it back old school.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, it can't be
Because
gourmet pizza. That's a lot of pizza, and that's expensive.
Dr. Birch is rich. I think
Well,
she could
that's
probably
true.
spring for the big time pizza.
Yeah, all right.
I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and
I thought you were about to say Dr. Birch.
No, and he mentioned that his child goes. It's not like it's a new friend. It's a newer friend.
Yeah,
Probably,
trust him.
probably a pickleball
Well,
friend.
Still figuring
It's a
him out.
pickleball friend.
Of course,
Yeah.
that's all Ira does now.
He mentioned his son having an orthodontic appointment, and I had to fight the urge because I was gonna say where.
It's not with some slappy, is it?
Well,
Is what you
and then
wanted to
because
say.
my problem was I had to stop myself because I knew if the answer wasn't Dr. Birch, then we'd have an issue. Like I would have to be like, hey,
You'd
man,
hit him with your
I'd have
paddle?
to shame him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you could say
what
go
you
to
were
Birch.
thinking ahead.
Do you not love your kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 2 steps ahead.
That's well done.
In my 20s or 30s
You
or
would have just
40s.
blurted it out.
Corey, I
Even
just
in your
would've-
40s. Even in your 40s, yeah.
But now I stopped myself because
Because
there's
you don't- yeah.
unless he said Dr. Birch, I was gonna have a problem.
Yeah, and you didn't want that. You're trying to play pickleball. You got to get your head right.
But all of you can make the choice now. If you haven't taken your kids or anybody else that you care about and you haven't picked your orthodontist yet, or if you maybe midstream, maybe Dr. Birch can salvage whatever it is your inferior orthodontist is doing. But go to Dr. Birch, birchorthodontics.com is the website. Office is very conveniently located over there on near Thomasville Road on Capitol Circle Northeast. Very conveniently to me, anyway, because that's where we live. But it's they do a great job, great service, payment plans, free consultations, everything you want. And just Dr. Birch is awesome, and she's going to sponsor our pizza party. That's going to be great.
You know the one downside.
We're going to have that pizza party, buddy. If they're going to win 7 games.
We're going to be doing it after 7 games.
I'm calling it.
They're going to be 7-0. Are we going to do it immediately?
Boldly stepping out, predicting a
7 wins, baby.
Well, are they going to win more than 7?
Well, we'll
you're
see. We'll
feeling,
see.
You
Let's
think
see how the
7's
spring
a
goes.
really good
If
number? huh?
are we going to do it immediately after they win their 7th game, or do we wait till the end of the year?
Yeah,
Because
no.
we're going to be doing it in October then.
I can
Who's
already,
their 7th? Who's their 7th game? Miami.
I can taste that middle school lunchroom
I mean,
pizza.
if they win their first 7, it's going to be
They're not going to,
big time
Corey.
pizza.
They're-
It's going to be the best pizza in Tallahassee.
They're
I
not
don't know what that is.
They're not going to win their first 7.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't know that.
I do.
You believe that, but you don't know it.
I'm telling you, that would be a moneymaker for Leon County schools because I'm telling you, man,
Just
I think the
nostalgia
nostalgia
alone, yeah.
of those rectangle pizzas. Whenever I see a picture on social media, somebody shares these.
I don't.
But
you think people are going to show up for
I
that
would.
pizza?
I would.
Oh, all right. Well,
Would
I know
you show
you
up
would.
for the sloppy joes?
Sloppy Joe.
You didn't like him as
I
much?
liked him okay. The tater tots were money though.
Tater tots
But
were
the
good.
school lunch pizza, man, that was
Yuck.
good stuff.
Yuck.
Good stuff.
Well, you have a very simple palate.
I do. That's true. Glenn from Florida says, "Man, that pizza was awesome." He knows.
Yeah,
He knows
when
the
you're
real ones,
9,
though.
when you're 9, it's all awesome.
Oh, he might be responding to somebody who talked about Barnaby's.
Oh,
he may not be talking about that. I'm going to believe he was talking about the middle school lunchroom pizza.
I've somehow lost the ability to pull up these questions, boys. No, I found it.
Great.
Now we're good. Here we go. Walter writes, good afternoon, winners. With UF having to go deep in their rotation, losing 2 out of 3 to High Point. They scored 4 runs in the 9th on Sunday to avoid the sweep. What is the likelihood that they have no depth to pitch tonight and we get to see a run rule in Hogtown? Well, I don't think it's very high. And
who's Florida State pitching?
Abraham. He's great.
Yeah, but he's your bullpen guy. He's going to go give you 3 innings. You still got to figure out the other 6.
And the problem with O'Sullivan is even in a normal set of circumstances, he goes through 8-9 pitches a game.
It's going to be a 4-hour game,
it's
probably.
a ridiculous set of circumstances.
They got arms, though. I didn't watch much of that High Point game on Sunday, but when it was 11-8 in the 9th, Florida was running out a guy that legitimately was throwing 100 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
When 11-8. So he's not even one of their better arms, I wouldn't think. And it's 11-8 in the 9th, and they got a guy throwing 100.
You got to ask yourself how, if that pitching so
they give up 11 to High Point.
What are we doing there, buddy?
Yep.
Hey, just think about where we were, I don't know, 7-8 years ago when Florida State would play Florida in baseball. Those were dark times.
Buddy,
when you just knew.
That's an underrated dark time.
I mean,
of all the dark times, there's been a lot of them.
It went from
like
Florida
12 in
State
a row,
baseball,
right? Or-
Florida State baseball from being like one of the best programs in the country
And dominating
to
yeah.
your rival is playing a different sport than you are.
Yeah.
There was a day on the air where I think it hit me the hardest, and I remember saying something to Tom where I was just kind of like, I'm dreading going home today because I love Florida State baseball, love it, and I love the. I wish, by the way, speaking of which, somebody brought this up the other day. Florida, as we just said, was playing a 3-game set against High Point. Florida State was playing Northern Kentucky.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What are we doing?
These two teams
How
can't
come
play
those
each
two
other.
teams just can't play each other?
Again,
what are we doing?
It goes back
well,
to
that was Joey, whatever his
the
face
decision.
is.
The
Arnold.
decision.
Yeah, that was Joe
But
Arnold.
literally, it goes back to the decision to put the students behind the backboard. It's just how it's done now. Nobody fights for it, but even though the fans would love it, nobody fights for it. They don't care
it's
enough.
Especially true when you're watching Florida State take on Northern Kentucky and Florida's playing High Point. Like, okay, we're 2 hours apart. We could be playing this series this weekend.
Meet up in Lake City.
What are we doing?
And you could do it like Clemson and South Carolina do it, where they play 3 games in 3 days in 3 different cities. You could go from Tallahassee to Jacksonville to Gainesville.
Or you could do what they used to do it back in the day. It's 2 days in 2 in Gainesville and 2 in Tallahassee.
Yeah. Again, wouldn't that be awesome, Ira? Wouldn't that be awesome? But nobody cares. So you're going to play Tuesday games against your best reliever is the starter.
No, it's not ideal. Walter, I think Florida will have pitching, but doesn't mean we won't beat their ass. So let's see. Yeah, it could go the other way. It's baseball. Mark writes, so what do you think these days about Lyons, McCray, Graham, Diggs, Gelsey, Otto, Lavelle stepping up? I hear they're doing damn good. Well, how would you know they're doing damn good, Mark?
There's people been talking them up. People have been talking them up.
Tour of duty?
Yeah, tour of duty. And yeah, that's basically it right now.
I don't like that.
They're working out hard?
Yeah.
Good. That's the bare minimum.
I also I just don't like duty. I don't like that word as
Duty's
part of
gone.
It's tour of duty, isn't it?
Oh, I thought you meant I meant duty or no.
Oh,
He's
no.
gone.
I meant like tour of duty
Tour
is
of
what
duty,
how you could describe the last 2 years when they go through that schedule. It's been a tour of duty.
Those of us that are
above 12?
Yeah. don't have as much problem.
I don't ever think about it, really.
I mean, just come up with a tour of perseverance.
Mark says we've been very critical of I don't know, man. Look, Otto I've had on the show and I've championed. I'd love to see him start. Part of the reason for criticism of any player, coach, program is when you get your ass beat every Saturday, which they've done a lot of for 2 years. So it's been warranted. They're also all paid now. So
that too. Otto out of that group is a guy that, they talk about him being a leader. Well, he's got to play to be a leader.
I'm rooting for him.
I am too. He seems like a good kid.
He can lead in the offseason if he's not playing. But once the season starts.
Exactly right. Like, so when
playing.
you're hearing good things about him, well, practice just started yesterday and they're not in pads. So anything you've actually heard about him has nothing to do with what what kind of offensive lineman he's going to be. But Herb Hand does talk about him like there's some stuff there to like. Yeah. And we'll see what he looks like come
pads come
I'm rooting for every one of those guys, and I would love to see Lavallee step up because I was excited when he came over from North Carolina. I'm talking about the older one, not the brother.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does too. But, I mean, that was a kid who North Carolina hated to lose, actually. He had that 9-tackle bowl game and all that. They thought he was emerging as a player. Florida State guy, and he gets hurt. Yeah. What are you going to do? So it's not a criticism. It's just that he hasn't done anything.
Right. Yeah, he's healthy now. It's that we are curious. I am curious. Tom and I were talking about this last time in the Smash.
Linebackers.
With just the linebacker, you don't have a ton of depth there unless some of those guys emerge. But even, they're going to be counting on Blake Nicholson and Omar Graham, who we've seen a lot of them play. And it has not been all that impressive.
Nope.
So, okay, well, you brought in Chris Jones and you brought in Mekhi Bayer, and you've got a couple other young guys that are coming up, but you wonder if maybe they go with more 4-down linemen. Like, I think the perception we've all had probably going back to the end of last season when the Desirs were in the portal and Wynn was in the portal and it looked like everything was going to hell on the defensive line, that maybe the defensive line was going to be the biggest problem. The defensive line may be okay. And
but they don't have a lot of depth that's experience that you like.
Right,
You've got your starters, and if any of them go hurt, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah, and there's some wild cards. Like Rylan Kennedy looks the part, but did not do a whole lot at Texas A&M. And you got a couple guys like that look physically like they should be able to help you, but they haven't done a lot on the college level.
Well, and Wynn is that, right? I mean, look, we were all excited about who he was as a recruit, and you were worried you were going to lose him, but he had one tackle last year. He got hurt. He hasn't played big-time college football at all. And now he's going to have to be an important piece to what you do on that front, right. I would think. If he's not, then, I mean, you're really running out of guys. Lions, they expect to be very good. I mean, and that's relative. Yeah. He's a good player. He's not an elite player. I like him a lot.
You hope the Desirs and Wynn can be elite because we don't know what their ceilings are.
No, we don't.
We know what Lyons and McCray are. Their ceilings they're hitting their head against it probably. Maybe there's a little more room to grow. I don't know if the Desirs are first-round picks or not. Like, literally, we have no idea.
No, and it's going to be a different game without Darrell Jackson occupying 2 blockers. So
but we don't know that Wynn might be one of the best linemen in the conference by the time the season's over. Like, that's the cool thing about it, but also the scary thing about it. He also might suck.
Right.
I don't think he does, but he might suck. The Desirs we know don't suck.
There's something that's kind of underrated about defensive linemen that Tony White talked about this last year. He wasn't saying it in a way to disparage Darrell Jackson, but I kind of feel like maybe it was a little bit. But when he was talking about Kevin Wynn and the Desir twins at the time, and he was talking about how and it was either Tony White or it might have been Terrence Knighton. And he was just talking about, and he obviously played in the league, and he was talking about how as a defensive lineman, the amount of time it takes you to find the ball is something that certain guys learn it. Some guys have it instinctively and some guys pick it up over time. And then that split second of like, you're engaging, you got a 330-pound dude coming to hit you full force, maybe 2 of them. And you're also trying to find the ball. And it's like, how quickly can you do that? I always wondered if Darrell Jackson had that ability. Like, right. I think he could take on those tackles.
Right, he could take it because of the body.
Yeah,
right.
He could take on the physical pounding, but I don't know if he had the instincts to go find the ball. I think Desir, certainly Mandrell Desir, maybe both of them, and it sounded like they were talking about that way. Kevin Wynn, if they have that ability, that's a big deal, and we have to see. Kevin Wynn, we didn't get to see him play much at all last year.
Hey guys, who wins a national championship first, football or baseball? Oh, well, right now you'd say baseball.
Yes,
football's not.
And also, unlike how it's been our whole lives, it's probably easier now, or at least as easy now, to win in baseball than in football. Because football, I mean, it is a grind once the postseason starts.
Oh yeah,
you know, like imagine Kelvin Benjamin making that catch. And then you still got to go play 2 more games against the other best teams in the country.
Yeah.
It's really hard to win in football now. Baseball, it's always been really hard. So I would say baseball because you believe in the coach and the direction of the
coach. And they're good.
Definitely
and they're
baseball.
Good. Yeah.
Definitely baseball.
Dylan says, why is Sam Singleton not getting more respect? I get we paid a lot for Croma, but I don't understand why people love him so much. He's literally just another James Wilder. Sam Singleton won and deserved the starting job last year, and Trey Wisner has 0 top-end speed. So this guy is a huge fan.
Okay. Singleton does have the home run ability that maybe those 2 guys don't.
Yeah, he played well as the season went on.
Yeah, he did.
Croma, I would not say is James Wilder. I think he's got more natural running instincts than Wilder did from what we've seen so far. I mean, he had a few jump cuts last year where it's like, okay, I can see it.
He's huge. He's big like Wilder. And
he's a freshman, man. He was a freshman that got here in the summer. Like that's something we don't really talk about. Most of these guys now, the big-time recruits that are going to be expected to play come in the spring. He didn't get here till the summertime. So we'll see.
Strong kid. I want him to get opportunities, especially in the second half of games if you have the lead. I want to see that guy wear on people.
I do like Singleton, though, as the changeup because Singleton can go.
I think that there should be 3 guys that get a lot of carries. We just named all 3.
Yep.
We'll see. Yeah, we don't need 7.
No, and you don't need to rotate
after he has 16 yards on his previous carry.
And then that's right. Keziah Holmes, like, okay, I got 2 carries for 32 yards. See y'all in a month.
Yeah, it's a toughie. R.A. writes, gentlemen, if UNC basketball had the same resume as FSU, the media would be screaming for their inclusion. Also, no conference tournament champion should have to win a play-in game in the NCAA tournament.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. That bothers me more than anything that, like, I don't know, man. Jackson State has to play Hofstra. It's like you earn the right to get to that first weekend. Make all the bubble teams play each other. It would also be better ratings. Again, the NCAA people just do dumb stuff. Like Auburn playing Miami of Ohio or something, even though Miami was 30-0 and they're on the bubble somehow. That would be much better ratings than Jackson State versus whoever, Utah Valley State. It doesn't make any sense. So I agree with that. If you win your conference, you're in. All you bubble teams can fight it out at Dayton. It'd be better basketball too.
Heartbreaking last night, boys. My ETSU Buccaneers fell to Furman in the finals.
Tom House.
We were right there.
Florida State great Tom House.
We were right there knocking on the door.
And then Tom House took over.
The Paladin shut that damn door.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Tom House.
Yeah. 6 seed beating the 1 seed. And I don't agree with the North Carolina take just because the metrics are the metrics and Florida State is like 65th in the net rankings. And if North Carolina was 65th in the net rankings, they would make an excuse. Caleb Wilson got hurt, put that in, but no, 15 losses is 15 losses.
Murray says, guys, who would each one of you pick for your dark horse player on offense and defense? Dark horses only, guys.
All right, dark horses.
Dig deep.
Dark horses. Are there light horses?
There are in real life.
But I wonder where dark horse came from. Like the saying that's like an underdog or somebody that comes out of nowhere is a dark horse.
Good question. We'll look it up.
I might look it up. Yep.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
I'm going to say,
Sam Singleton?
I gave my dark horse yesterday, and Jamari Howard. I fell in love with his speed when he got here, and then he got hurt and hasn't been able to come back from that.
I'm going to say, is it Riles, the tight end?
Yeah.
I'm going to say him because I saw Florida State put out like a 3-minute montage of their first practice.
It's a good way to base it.
And Riles had a couple pretty significant catches, it looked like.
You're just not going to ask him to block, though.
It's fine. I don't care. But he's going to be my dark horse. He's going to be my dark horse. Deuce Robinson is my light horse because I assume that means you expect him to be good, and he's going to be good. But I'm going to say Riles. I think they're going to get back to the tight end, by the way. Norvell, if nothing else, really loves his tight ends and does a good job scheming them wide.
Well, it's been a few years since he did that. They weren't scheming them wide open at 2 and 10, buddy.
Well, weren't doing anything then.
Well, I'm just letting
but
you know.
I'm saying before that, they couldn't block and they had to throw it or a tight end to throw to. But last year, you can't blame that on him. I'm saying he wants to get back to those screens where the tight ends catch the ball.
I loved it.
And there's nobody even in the picture.
The 2 and 10 tight end was open a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quarterback was on his back.
Or the ball went off his face mask.
Yeah, well, that's true, too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There's some chip in the bricks.
I thought that was probably DJ's worst pass, is hitting Morlock in the face mask.
Turned into a pick.
Yep, right on the air to almost a pick six.
And we all kind of chuckled.
Well,
we were like, that's emblematic.
That's the season.
I haven't heard a dark horse come out of your mouth yet.
Yeah.
Let's go, buddy.
I mean, can Javen Boggs be a dark horse anymore?
Yeah, sure. What's he done? He has 6 catches in his career.
Javen Boggs on offense. Defensively, I'm going to go with the Mekhi Jones. Is it the DB from Duke? Is he
okay?
Mekhi Jones? Yeah, that kid. Man, I love that kid.
Don't judge us by the way that we can't remember guys' names.
Well,
it is it's crazy. There's 50-something new players every year.
Well, and you're not allowed to see them.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. That kid, man. He you know what it reminded me of? His interview reminded me of Trey Benson's. And when Trey Benson came in, and Trey Benson's first interview with us in Tallahassee was just 20. It was back when we were still on Zoom, and it was like 20 questions about his knee, and you could tell he was getting pissed and more pissed as the interview went on. And I loved the way he was. He was just like, you're gonna see, like there's no doubt. It was confidence, and I was like, I'm all in with this guy. And I'm telling you that I love the Mekhi Jones kid. I just think he's been a smaller dude his whole life, and I think he's going to be the kind of kid there's things we liked about Earl Little. There was things we didn't like about Earl Little.
Yeah.
I think we're going to like a lot of things we see in Mekhi Jones.
You remember the Trey Benson run in the indoor practice facility in full pads when he caught the corner on the left side and took it to this? That was scary. Yeah. Like to hear the sound as he ran past at that weight.
Yeah.
At 220 pounds. I remember thinking, ooh.
Yeah.
Business decisions being made out here. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a toughie. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I did find it. Do I have time yet?
You do.
It's literal. As we thought it might be, it refers to horse racing back in the early 1800s. I guess they probably still do it.
Wait. The
Dark horse, white horse.
Was it because of where they are on the track? Like
no,
the lighting?
It's because of, they would keep the horse, how good the horse was in the dark. Meaning they wouldn't ever race them. They wouldn't ever test them out in front of eyes.
Oh, look at that.
And so he became a dark horse. And the first time it was used, the political debut was James K. Polk. Was a dark horse presidential candidate that came out of nowhere.
Famously.
It now refers to any little known competitor, person, or team.
So I didn't, because now if you.
So you get better betting odds because you keep them in the dark and nobody know how
Corey,
fast.
for example, to use it in a sentence other than that, Corey would be a dark horse to make a par if we were out playing golf.
I would be a dark horse.
I'd be the dark horse.
Especially on a par 5, I would come out of nowhere.
I actually played golf this morning and I was the darkest horse.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I played. Golden Eagle. One of my pickleball buddy took me out to Golden Eagle. Well, I mean, I was out there.
I was gonna say, did you play?
You tarnished that track with
I
your
felt bad about it.
golf game?
I almost apologized. I was like, "Where's the
play
superintendent?" Yeah.
Did you tee off at 7?
8:50, but there's only 2 of us, and it was wide open.
All right,
we had a good time.
Well,
but
look at you.
no, but that's really it's funny because, and I'm going to share a little horse racing knowledge that nobody cares about but me. But
we
I'm
have time,
down there.
We're
You grew
here
up down there. My dad did too.
Because when you the way it works now is horses have to work out at the tracks and they're actually monitored.
Can't be a dark horse.
And you could the workouts go on the racing
Light horse.
and the racing form tracks
Everybody
the workouts.
knows that now.
Yeah.
You
So
hide that horse
interesting.
from us.
Yeah. No more dark horses at the track.
That speedster you got behind the tree.
But
that
my
would
dad,
be funny if it was literal, as in they raced in the dark.
My dad's other one of my dad's tricks though was he would follow when he would see the trainers at the track go place their bets. He would go rush and get behind them in line.
Are they allowed to do that?
Oh yeah.
Trainers can bet.
Yeah. So he would watch to see how much they were betting
on the other horse,
or if they're betting a lot,
yeah.
like a lot.
Okay.
And then
Just look for the mob guys too.
Yeah, they have a tip.
They usually got a tip. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio. Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole Headlines, have already made this leap. From household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Paws controls pesky mosquitoes year-round, which means you can take back control of your yard. Not only are mosquitoes a physical irritation, they also pose a potential health risk to people and pets. With Paws targeted techniques, you can rest assured that your yard will be protected and your afternoons will stay fun.
Take back your yard. Don't let mosquitoes interrupt the fun. For more information, go to callpaws.com. For the elimination of termites or any other pests.
And a greener lawn, too.
Call Paws. We'll get them all.
Paws can help eliminate fire ants from your lawn, too. We'll help you take your yard back.
It's where you raise your kids, where friends become family, where every corner has a story worth telling. It's your neighborhood. At ABC 27, we share those stories, bringing you news that connects communities, builds pride, and reminds us we're part of something bigger. We are ABC 27. in your neighborhood.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the battle's end. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
Keep the questions coming. Here we go. Before we get to the next one, I'll say yay Tavello. Just a low-key yay Tavello.
I saw Maurice said, does he have a little kid too?
He does. He's got two sons, and one of them's
a little toddler guy.
Yeah.
So they were at, when I went to the last basketball practice, Maurice was there with his kids.
Yeah.
So I texted him afterwards because Matt had mentioned to me that Maurice was there. So I texted him. I said, hey man, did you put up any shots at practice? And he goes, he's like, I was too busy chasing around the toddler. And then he goes, Corey's going to grow up one of these days.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's calling me the toddler. Yeah. I got shots up. Anytime I'm not in there, I get shots up. I got to.
But Tavello is right up there in Thomasville, Georgia, just across the state line. It's like going down the street.
It's right down the road from our house. You and I live right by each other. It's right there.
Just make the quick trip up to Thomasville, or if you're in, I think he posted on social media that they're sold out at Hauser right now.
Still,
so I'm not.
They got time.
I haven't gotten the details on that, but go up to Thomasville. You get all the different varieties of beers, the different the IPAs, the stouts, all the different varieties. We particularly like the coffee blonde. The lager's very good as well. They have the frozen seltzers if you have people who are not huge beer drinkers, and just go enjoy it. The weather's getting great. Go up to Thomasville. And mention that you heard about him on Seminole Headlines because Maurice and Leonard, both huge FSU fans. They got married at an FSU football game. They'll love to talk to you about the Noles.
They're both also huge Seminole Headlines fans.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I mean, that goes without saying. And he's a big enough wig that he gets to just roll to a basketball practice and sit in the front row. Yeah. He's a big deal.
Big
and
deal.
The beer is delicious.
Also, April 3rd is the next First Friday, and I assume they do cool stuff there for First Fridays.
Yeah, man, those are awesome. If you do go to a First Friday in Thomasville, and that's where you can walk around, check out all the different restaurants and stores. They stay open late that Friday evening, and then you can actually get your beverage to go. I think you're allowed to walk around.
You're damn right you
with
are.
a little open container,
like a tailgate.
So go get your Tavello that night.
It feels like you're in New Orleans.
Yeah. Thomasville has always had that feel to me.
You used to say that.
Very similar. Yeah.
That's why I always had my beads.
Back in 99.
Yeah, had my beads ready to throw. They were really the women walking in downtown Thomasville, and I'd say, show me your they were mortified. They didn't know that they were in the New Orleans of Georgia.
They thought they were about to be assaulted.
Yeah. I was like, I know, it's beads. This is New Orleans.
Brandon writes, hey guys, Brandon from Georgia here.
Okay.
Speaking of which, he's probably been to DeVelo many times. Everybody in Georgia has.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a rite of passage.
Is this the most important quarterback competition of the Mike Norvell era? Because if FSU doesn't finally solve quarterback this spring, it feels like the entire 26 season would hinge on it. Well, yeah, it would be nice not to have a quarterback who sucks.
Yeah.
That would be a positive.
Yeah.
Biggest battle of when?
In the Norvell era.
Oh. I don't know. Because I listen, I don't think the competition is going to be as fierce as we maybe had hoped. I mean, I think Ashton Daniels.
Corey was
definitely
hoping.
Hope.
He was hoping.
I mean, I think Ashton Daniels is going to be the guy, unless, Kevin Sperry just plays incredibly.
Hey, that's allowed.
It could happen.
Quarterbacks do that all over this great land of ours. They play above what with their perceived ability and end up being awesome.
So we'll see. It's probably going to be Ashton Daniels. I don't think it's going to be a fierce competition, but they got to get it right, obviously. And if they don't, that's going to be why Mike Norvell loses his job. That 3 years in a row, you went from kind of a bargainer option at quarterback.
Yeah, that would be the biggest.
You can explain it.
That would be,
but you can explain away why you got in this situation a lot of different ways. Like last year, you could talk yourself into, well, in Gus's offense, Tommy made sense. He had experience in it. Like it makes sense. But at the end of the day, you didn't even see what the market held. You just said, Gus is going to be my coordinator. Hey, this guy's played for Gus before. This is the search we were going to have. This year, you go with Ashton Daniels, which, he may turn out to be fine, but you didn't really cast a wide net.
Well, no. And
so this is what you did. And if it doesn't work, then that's going to be a big reason why you end up out of a job.
Robert wants to know what our thoughts are on the ceiling for the baseball team. The ceiling would be Omaha, right? I think they can get to Omaha.
And if you get to Omaha, you can win it.
Yeah.
You can win it.
I think this is a good enough team to get to Omaha. I would place teams above them that I've seen. I think there are a few teams that obviously are better than Florida State. But that doesn't, they're a work in progress right now. We're still early enough in the season that they're getting better, and this has been a really unique year too. Just, we talked about it earlier, but you've got guys that were injured and other guys getting opportunities, and they're making the most of that. We're starting to see the arms that they can count on emerge, which is nice.
It's funny. I'm oddly enough kind of on the other side of it from Corey. Corey wants to see what these bats look like against better pitching. I kind of want to see what these starting pitchers look like against better offenses.
Yeah.
And that's because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on some of that.
Starting with Wake, man.
Yeah.
Starting with Wake, yeah.
So that's that. When we see that, I think I'll have a better feel for what the ceiling is.
Because how good is Mendez really?
That's the question.
He's looked like Jamie Arnold through 4 starts, but okay, you not Jamie Arnold.
So I don't worry about Mendez. I worry about the other guys. I worry about. This is a philosophical thing. We will throw a changeup now. We will.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, there is a stark contrast. Doesn't mean they can't win and win big, because Florida State's been out to Omaha in the last few years, and they were this close to going back there last year. So, but when you watch the better teams in the SEC and you watch Florida State, you watch teams who dominate by controlling the fastball. They lead with the fastball. It is 95 in, and it gets you off the plate. They are controlling the game with the fastball. Florida State does not appear to be of that mindset.
Well, or of that stuff.
Right. But what I'm saying, that's a philosophical choice. Like, you could recruit to that if you wanted.
Well, it may affect your budget different ways. I mean,
I
don't know.
But it is certainly something. And it can, well, you're right. It may end up working. Maybe it'll be such a change of pace against the better teams. Daniel writes, does Charlie wear Sunday gold or Sunday red? That's funny. So he's talking about Charlie Woods, obviously.
Yeah. Did they play on Sundays? College golfers?
I think so.
Well,
the finals are like on a Tuesday, like a Monday or Tuesday or something. But yeah, I assume their last day of a tournament, a typical tournament's a Sunday, right? Yeah.
So
that would be funny. Yeah, I guess he's got to wear Sunday garnets.
I wouldn't be surprised if Florida State's golf team didn't switch to Sunday red. The apparel brand, Tiger Woods brand.
Yeah, whatever they can do.
Seriously, would not 100%. Be surprised if that happened. Yeah.
Could have been part of the deal.
Literally, they can call themselves the Florida State Woodses, Tiger Woodses. For whatever, they're not
Florida
the
State
Seminoles.
Tigers.
The Florida State Tigers
there we
is
go.
great. It sounds great.
Heather, Dr. Birch is in the.
What?
Yes.
Did she donate? Did she tip?
How about that?
Is this on Twitter or Facebook?
Facebook.
Come on,
there
Dr. Birch.
She's
Heather.
older, so
Yeah,
it's gotta
that's
be
right.
Facebook,
Yeah, wow. She loves her memes. She loves her
She's
memes.
on Twitter. She can do it on Twitter. That's disappointing, Dr. Birch.
Twitter and Facebook both suck.
Yeah, they do. We need to move to Snapchat or Instagram.
That's not going to be better, buddy. Snapchat's not going to be better.
It will. We'll get a lot. We'll get nudes. They disappear after.
Like a man knows something about Snapchat.
Well, I have a 17-year-old.
Heather writes, so many positive things to discuss today. Basketball, baseball, track and field, softball. Start of spring practice. Let's go. It's always go Noles and go headlines.
There you go.
I don't think you read that with a fervor that she meant it.
I don't think she was excited about spring practice.
Oh, I think she was very.
I think it's disingenuous.
Something.
I think
Verve.
Verve.
I think she's very excited about basketball, baseball, track and field, softball. I don't think she's excited about spring.
Hey, shout out to Issa Torres, by the way, who had 12 hits in 3 games. Florida State, some reason, played a 3-game series at Coastal Carolina, but Issa Torres showed all the people in Conway
6 in 1 game.
What time
she's awesome. That she is awesome. The offense was great, and she just won ACC Player of the Week, which would have been crazy if she didn't. You get 12 hits in 3 games and you don't win ACC Player of the Week. So she is now batting, Jeff, .597.
I believe it.
It's crazy.
Well,
I mean,
it's
obviously
softball.
she's not going to end up hitting 600, but
It's softball.
21 games in the year to hit 600 is nuts.
She's good.
Hopefully she can start pitching.
Yeah.
Ryan says, fellas, am I the only one who's done a 180 since the end of last season now and pretty optimistic?
Yeah, man, that's what I'm
Kind of the
talking about. Let's do it.
natural fandom, I think. You start seeing things like, man, what if Daniel Lyons and McCray both take a little jump and they're good enough. They're like pretty good ACC defensive
I'm going to read
linemen.
the rest of Ryan's thing here. Listen, Ryan,
Ryan's got you rattled.
Well,
Yeah,
fans are
shook.
inclined
Yeah.
to lie to themselves.
Well, it's fun. You don't want to be. You don't have to be the pragmatist all the time. You're just going to hate life.
I'm just pointing it out.
You just told me the Pirates were going to make the playoffs.
They will.
Yeah, I listened to that and tried to not say anything.
No. If you guys would like a little small wager at the end of this,
The Pacoda says they're going to make the playoffs.
We're going, baby. Forget about it. But what I'd say to you is that it is natural. I mean, you don't want to walk around just constantly thinking, boy, we suck and we're going to continue to suck.
That's a horrible way to live.
No, most people, and I think there are aspects of this that are true. I said it in hour 1. I agree with you, Ira. I think the offense will probably be better. I just don't think the defense is going to be there.
What did he say?
Looking at the program as a whole, writes Ryan, I think we've upgraded at every position.
Maybe not offensive line.
They have not upgraded at every position.
No, they have not.
He goes on to say that he does think that every position coach has been upgraded since the end of 24, and he thinks that each position group is better or better than what we had in 25. Even defensive line should be better with some addition by subtraction, getting rid of Williams and Jenkins.
Yeah, losing Williams is a plus.
Losing Williams is a big plus, but I don't think they're going to be better on the defensive line, but they may not be worse.
Let me ask you this.
What if the Sears take a jump?
Well, I mean,
yeah, they're going to need to.
Yeah, but it happens.
So let me ask you this. So when we look at this, when we talked about this basketball team,
yeah,
and one of the things that I think is a huge, and when you guys agree with me when I said it, is they believe they're going to win. They're bought in. They're connected. That's his hashtag. Luke Laux, his staff. That means something in basketball, right? It does.
Yes, because there are fewer players and
it's not as much just running into other human beings.
That's right. It's not bigger, stronger, faster always, right?
So the question for me on this defense is, because listen, man, I talked to Tony White off the record and on the record. He loves these guys.
Well, he loves that he got rid of some dead weight.
100%.
Yeah.
And it wasn't dead weight that couldn't play, though.
Well,
those were some talented dudes.
Some of them, yep.
They pushed some dudes out who were talented football players that were not totally with the program.
Not bought in.
Right. Can guys, because I would say that these guys, Tony White loves these guys because they are bought in. He's like, they're football players. They come in at 5 a.m. They're
working hard.
They are working hard. They're in it. They care. That means something. But can that make them better than the guys who are more talented? Because I think they're replacing guys who are more talented that were not bought in. You know, there's got to be a bar there where, like, at some point, the hardworking, connected, believing, bought in guy who's not quite as talented pushes above the performance of the guy who was talented but wasn't totally bought in. Can you get to me, that margin is going to be what decides whether or not this defense is pretty good, because I don't think the talent is as good as it was a year ago, but I do think it's possible they could play better if they're all on the same page and they're all bought in.
If you've got a locker room of malcontents, it's not conducive to everybody pulling in the same direction and winning and picking themselves up in the face of adversity. I think everybody gets fractured and goes on their own way.
And that's imperative on defense.
That's imperative on defense. Now, I do think that obviously bigger, stronger, faster is a very real thing, right? And so you could love each other all you want, but if you're facing somebody who's too big, too strong, too fast, you're in trouble.
When you were coaching the Timberlane Raiders.
Yeah, was that a connected defense?
We played very well in the second have the season.
There you go. You start. That's allowed to happen.
I had to make a few adjustments.
Yeah.
Some guys out.
Florida State defense, even though Derwin James joined the fray, but he was a freshman. Much better than the 14 defense did with less talent. So it can have, I was just using a Florida State reference. There's those all over the country of less talented teams playing better. Now, the problem at Florida State currently is, even if this team is really connected and plays as well as it possibly can play on that side of the ball,
they may not be good enough.
What does that mean? The difference between 5 wins and 8 wins?
Well, if you have a good offense, can they give you a chance?
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully
to win some of those games. And to me, that's the question, because at the end of last season and then during the early days of the portal, I didn't think they'd have a chance.
I didn't know they'd have a defensive line.
I still have real problems with what they did constructing the team and how you didn't. If you were going to value this thing up and throw numbers at the problem, how did you not bring in more defensive linemen? This is going to, if they get one of those guys hurt, they're going to have a
Did they bring in? Who did they bring in?
They brought in some.
Kid from Texas State, the A&M guy.
Ryland Kennedy, Sanders.
I mean, that's my concern.
Jalen Anderson from junior college.
They're going to need their starters to be really healthy.
And level up. Be better than they've been. And
there's a real good chance that they will get a level up. Look, Wynn didn't even play. He got 1 tackle. I mean, if he starts and plays well, yeah, that's a big difference. Obviously, the Desirs, they're paying him a lot of money. Yeah. They better play well.
Kevin Wynn.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But if they get anybody hurt, man, they're just so thin there. I think they're gonna have to win a lot of high scoring games. Matthew writes, thanks for the great show as always, gents. What do you think Luke will need to do in the offseason to get this team to take the next step next year? Has he already done it with the incoming freshman class? What will be positions of priority in the portal?
I think the big one's probably going to be point guard, because I think you lose Rob McCray, and then Martin Somerville is going to be a very valued product on the market. I think
I like him a lot too.
I like him a lot. I think he's going to be on the market. I don't know whether or not they're going to keep him or be able to keep him.
I think you might be overestimating his value more than there is. But I also don't think he's a point guard. He's not a guy that creates for other people. And until this last game, he was 4 out of his last 25 from 3. Since the Virginia Tech game, he'd averaged 4 points a game. I love his personality for this team, but for this team, I don't know that Kentucky's going to be like, well, we got to go get that kid to average 6 points a game at Florida State. I don't think his price. I wonder about Cam Miles.
Yeah,
is he even going to be here? That stunt he pulled. I've never seen anything like that against doing. What are we calling this, by the way?
The Cam Ward thing. I don't know.
What is it?
It's something to do with stinking.
They're still doing it 2 years later.
Nobody else is doing it.
No, I've seen other people do it.
They're all fools.
I saw Cam Miles do it.
I definitely saw Cam Miles do it to a guy that just lit his ass up for 28 points in the second half afterwards. Yeah, to do that is insane.
It always was a dumb celebration. It was always a dumb celebration.
It's certainly dumb when you've hit 1-3 the last 2 months.
Yeah. And then
you happen to hit one, and then you go to their best player and do this.
Yeah.
And then he hits 6 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Not great, but Cam Miles has some stuff to it. Like, he needs to grow up. Yeah. But Cam Miles can play. Is he the lead guard next year if you can keep him, or do you have to go get someone?
I don't think so,
and you also have to get shooting. If you want to play this system, you got to get better shooters. And they're out there. Go find them.
So they're going to have to get a few. I mean, they have to go get a few pieces. I like, there's no doubt the talent they're bringing in is exceptional, but it's going to be freshmen.
Keep Basong.
A bunch of freshmen kids. Yeah, you got to keep Basong. And I think Swinton's got some ability.
Yeah, and that has been a nice turnaround too, because they needed him to get with the program as well. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
Now.
A gas station on West Orange Avenue was on fire early Sunday morning. TFD responded to the fire at about 3:14 a.m. and said it involved a Marathon gas station. The building was fully engulfed when they arrived, but there were no occupants as the building was closed. The fire was reportedly under control within an hour. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the Florida State Fire Marshal's office. This is a developing story. The Tallahassee Police Department is asking for the public's assistance in locating a car suspected in a Thursday night hit and run. The incident left a pedestrian seriously injured. The incident unfolded in Northwest Tallahassee around Capitol Circle Northwest in the 4400 block of West Tennessee Street. Anyone with information is urged to contact TPD at 850-891-4200 or to remain anonymous, call Crime Solvers at 850-574-TIPS. This is Rachel Lene with Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update. Brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 87. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies. Tonight, lows level off around 62. Daytime highs approaching 86 with fog in spots. Early tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently, it's 82 degrees.
All right, folks, if you're looking for a good excuse to play Seminole Legacy Golf Course and feel good about it, I've got one for you. Proud to be part of the FICW Golf Invitational coming up April the 13th at Seminole Legacy Golf Club here in Tallahassee. It's a Monday, which, let's be honest, perfect day to have a meeting on the course, if you will. Check-in starts at 8:30, shotgun at 10. They'll feed you. There's putting challenge, awards, silent auction, oh, kit and caboodle. The tournament supports education and training for child welfare workers across the state of Florida, and part of the proceeds go right here locally to the Oasis Center for women and girls. So you're playing golf, but you're also doing some good. It's $300 for an individual, $1,100 for a foursome. Grab your guys, grab clients of yours, and just come out and play. We're proud to sponsor it. I'd love to see some familiar faces out there. Tom and myself will be playing in this thing too, alongside PGA professionals Tom Shea and Jane Geddes, FSU Hall of Fame legend Jane Geddes. So come join us and have a good time for a great cause. You can register at ficw.fsu.edu/golf. April the 13th, the first ever Florida Institute for Child Welfare Golf Tournament. We'll see you there.
Life is stressful. Dinner shouldn't be. That motto is why Register Sausage has been doing business in the Florida Panhandle and Lower Alabama for over 75 years. A proud sponsor of Seminole Headlines, Register Sausage always provides the best Southern smoked sausage to over 140 grocery stores and restaurants throughout the Southeast. Headliners have discovered the Register's difference. You can too. To find a store that carries Registers near you or to buy directly, head to registermeats.com. That's registermeats.com. Register Sausage. Yay, sausage!
Seminole Headlines returns now. Head to YouTube and search for Warchant TV today to catch the show live or on demand. Now, here's Jeff Cameron, Ira Schofel, and Corey Clark.
I would think this is a resounding yes. Can we get Corey to commit to an hour or two if the Noles win the ACC tournament? Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, man, I'd do it for the rest of the calendar year.
What if they beat Duke?
No. Shorthanded Duke, I expect them to win. I think they'll be favored. They got to get there.
Hassan wants to know if McCray's eligible for one more year at FSU. If not, can we direct some NIL funds to a favorable judge in Tallahassee?
Yeah, it'd be nice to have him back.
Just file locally in the state. You'll get approved.
Who
That's
cares?
what everybody does now.
I mean, yeah.
Whatever.
Why
I
not?
actually asked that exact same question jokingly to Luke in the interview that I did.
Get LeJay back too. And Chauncey. I mean, that's a good crew if you bring the three of them back.
Kyle wants to know if we're a problem in the NIT, boys.
Could be a problem.
Are they gonna
because they're gonna care to play, yeah.
But you think they'll play in the NIT?
100%.
If they can get in, those definitely play.
He said he
Really?
would.
Yeah.
Oh, he
Yes.
did? Oh, okay.
The question is, I think they put a priority on those teams those one bid league, those teams that were the best team in a one bid league.
Yeah.
And then they lose in their tournament,
Yep.
which has happened to a bunch of them.
TSU.
Yeah, Navy.
They're all getting they're going to get the priority for the NIT. So it's going to be a challenge. There's no guarantee they get in the NIT.
Man, make a phone call, Luke. Let's go.
Yeah, hopefully.
Get a
It'd
big
be good.
brand
It'd be nice.
like Florida State.
Get them a home
NIT.
game.
Let's
Put those
go.
students up in the rafters.
Let's get it done.
Good times.
So, yeah, again, Matt wants to know about basketball transfers for next year. And then he says, thoughts on Miami peaking on corrupt NIL and regressing to the mean the remaining years of Cristobal. They lost everyone. They're due for a quarterback injury. Just saying, Matt, you're wishful thinking. And it's not corrupt. They're allowed to do it.
They are. They are. And
we'll see. I mean, yeah, the Mensa thing is crazy because if they paid a $4 million buyout or whatever it was for whatever, how much it was to Duke, that is supposed to go against your rev share. Like that is the one rule that exists because it was a factor for, some of these guys at FSU that maybe considered leaving.
Yeah, but the Ohio State didn't want to pay the $2 million for the
and because it does
comes out of your
rev share. So,
but this thing has been so manipulated and doctored. We know how they do this.
But you look at this situation. This is a Miami and Duke. They're two ACC schools. So you would like to think that the ACC is actually going to. I mean, we know all the parties involved here.
Yeah,
Miami didn't take the player from Arizona State.
You know who the commissioner of the ACC is?
Come on, Jim.
He's going to kick
Come on,
down
Jim.
the door there.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
He's going to John Wayne this thing.
Sankey was threatening that the SEC might have to break away if they don't get and that's how it's going to happen. It's going to be the four major commissioners, the four power four, really the power two, and the ACC better be like, okay, whatever. We don't want y'all breaking away. But that's how it's going to change. They're the ones that are going to enact real laws and real enforcement. The College Sports Commission is, if you're on Twitter today, you understand that they have no idea what they're doing. They said they thought it would be, they were told by many, the CEO of the College Sports Commission, just now, I saw it on Twitter, had said that they were told that up to 90% of these deals would be viable third-party deals. And that's what they believe. They would be real life. And it's like, well, you're an idiot.
Why
90%.
Did they believe that?
Right,
there were
because
no
they were told
indicators.
that.
Well,
they were told that. It's it's insanity.
You know the root
It's
of my anger with all this.
It's the people that run this sport or try to run this sport have no idea really what they're doing. Hopefully Sankey, Big Ten guy, Petiti, is that his name? And Jim Phillips and the Big 12 guy can get in a room and figure out a way to police all this.
It's not going to happen.
I do think there's a will. There's a will with the SEC.
There's been a will.
But I think there's a will. If there's a will in the SEC and the Big Ten, they will. The NCAA can't do anything. The SEC and the Big Ten can, I think, really enact change if there's that much of a will.
And
they just can't get Congress involved or the NCAA involved.
And get sued.
Who
the
cares?
Courts have told them time and again.
Those players can go play at UTEP. They don't have to play in the SEC. If you want to play in the SEC, you have to abide by these rules, or you go play UTEP or Cal.
Corey, good luck, buddy.
Not Cal. Cal's in the ACC. Cal Davis.
Did you just see the money that LSU publicly announced that they're spending on NIL?
Yeah, that'll be against the rules.
Well,
Sankey's going to kick Kiffin out of the league.
You sound like our athletic director, buddy.
Sankey's going to kick him out of the league.
We don't have any more questions.
That can't be true.
It is true.
All right.
It's that time of year, guys. Luckily, we only have about a minute and a half to fill. We'll be all right.
Okay. All right.
I think we were productive today. I think it was a good show. It
was a good show. Touch a lot of topics.
I think it had a chance to spiral out of control and be negative, but it wasn't.
I do. There's a topic Corey brought up on Wake Up that I wanted to. I wanted to kind of delve into, but I didn't. We don't have enough time.
Well, just what is it? Give me the bullet
so we'll
point.
do it next time.
Corey's point about that he doesn't really believe coaches inspire. That it's coaches that doesn't really exist anymore.
Corey, you don't believe that.
I know, I do because I don't think Andy Reid is paid a lot of money because he inspires Patrick Mahomes.
You're talking about the NFL, man.
I know, and I'm talking about college football, which
those are professional football.
This is
players.
closer and closer than it's ever been. These guys have been here for 4 months.
Yes,
they are not here to be inspired by a head coach. They're here to try to win games and get to the league.
Oh,
yes, but it's closer to the NFL than it's ever been in that regard.
That part is true. The problem is, when you think of inspiration, you're thinking of the Newt Rockne speech.
Yeah,
sometimes it's just instilling a belief that they believe you know what you're doing and you're going to do the right thing,
and they're going to be put in positions to succeed.
Exactly.
You've seen a lack of belief every day,
100%.
right over there.
Yeah,
buddy.
you're right. There's different ways of inspiration.
Rah.
Yeah. But there's different ways of leadership. Like players want to be led because they believe you're going to do the best thing for them on the football field.
But then that will inspire them.
Correct. Right. Yes, but also be good at your job. And get them open.
See how quickly we denounced this.
Well, we're on the same page.
Close.
We're on the same page.
For people who are inspired, even in the NFL.
Again, though,
if you a good example would have been the Bears this past year with a first-year head coach, and you see the way that locker room responds to him. Now,
but they believe in him as the OC and how good he is at his job.
I think the Jags believe in Liam, whatever his name is,
Cohen,
Duval.
Yeah. But I mean, they believe that he knows what he's doing, and they play at a higher level.
Yeah. Did I do it right? How did he do it?
No, we're not going to do this. That's it. It's on a chalkboard, boys. They said goodbye. Trust me, guys, they said goodbye. Now I'm saying goodbye. Hour number 3, forthcoming. It's Tom and I joining. We'll get into some NFL free agency and all that good stuff. Be well, everybody. Peace.